Hello dear students, welcome back. I am Shweta and we are studying chapter Advanced Web Designing. In last lecture, we have studied some advanced input types of forms and today we are going to see some input restrictions for that type. So let us start. In this chapter, we will learn input restrictions of form and meta tag. Input restriction. Now, what is input restriction? Input restriction means restrictions given to the user while entering the form. Sometimes user face some input restrictions. Like we can say that while entering the name format is given. That name should contain in this format only. That means first last name should be there, then first name, then middle name. So this is one type of a restriction. Next, we can say for password also they give restrictions. Like password should be the combination of alphabets, capital alphabets, small alphabets, digits, then special characters. So this is also one type of a restriction. Next, we can say that sometimes there will be age restrictions. Age restrictions means minimum age should be 25, maximum 45. So this is also one type of a restriction. So this all are the common types of restrictions which user face while entering the forms. So we will see here some common input restrictions. So this is the list of some common input restriction. All these are the attributes, okay, and this is a description of this. So let us start one by one. First one is disabled. What is disabled? It specifies that an input field should be disabled. It means that we should mark the field disabled if suppose we want that user should not enter any data in this field. He can just see that data. For that purpose, you can make that field as what? Disabled. This disabled field, users can only see it, but they cannot change the data in it. So this field will be disabled. But what they see, that value should be written here only. For that, they should write value in the value field, which will be the attribute of this disabled also. In input type, you should write disabled, we should write value, and in that value, you should write the text which the users can see. Okay, so for disabled, value attribute is also compulsory. Next, max and min. This max and min, here this two both for both this maximum and minimum value, the input types are same, like number, date, month, time, week, range, and date time local. So this input type we have already seen in the first lecture. So for this, if you want to set the restrictions for maximum and minimum value, then we have to use max attribute and min attribute. For example, I have already told you, if you want to set the restriction for age, that minimum age should be 25, then use min is equal to 25, and maximum age should be 45, then write max is equal to 45. Okay, that is the work of max and min. Now let us see next attribute, that is pattern. What is this pattern? Pattern specifies a regular expression to check the input value against. So what this says? This means that a format, in which format the text should be written, for that you should always use pattern. In pattern, whatever pattern you write, in that pattern only the user has to enter the text. For example, suppose I am using pattern for writing 10-digit mobile number. Then for 10-digit mobile number, you can use pattern as 0 to 9, and in curly braces you will write 10. Means user has to enter 10-digit number. That number can be any number from 0 to 9. Means it is compulsory. By mistake, suppose user tries to write, means if he enters a mobile number of 9 digit, then he will get an error. Okay, even if he tries to write the mobile number of 11 digit, then also he will get an error that please write the field in the given format only. So this is the work of pattern. So it will be fetching the error if the user is not writing as per the given pattern or format. Okay. Then next is read only. Read only specifies that an input field is read only, that is cannot be changed. So this is also similar to that of disable. Here also user can just view the field. He can just see that field, but he cannot change that field. Okay, so it is only read only field. Means here also value is compulsory. For disabled and read only, values are compulsory. So whatever text user can see, that text is written in value. Okay, then you might ask me the question that if disabled and read only are same, then what is the difference? So the difference is that when we submit the form, after filling the form, when you submit the form, that time this disabled field never gets submitted. Okay, only the read only fields get submitted. So when you fill the form and you want to submit that form, that time only the read only field gets submitted, but disabled field never gets submitted. Next one, placeholder. This acts as a temporary label showing the purpose of a text field without requiring a label tag. What this says that this field means it is just a hint to the user. It gives the hint to the user that please write the name in this format, please enter the mobile number in this format, please enter the password in this format, email ID in this format. So this is the work of placeholder. It is just gives the user the example how to write the field or how to write the text. Okay, so that is the work of the placeholder. It works as a hint. Next one is required. Required specifies that an input field is required, must be filled out. So whenever the field is required, that time a user has to compulsory fill that field. Otherwise it will user will get a error that please fill the field, required field. Okay, so you might have seen that when you're filling the form, that time some fields are marked in red asterisk mark. That red asterisk mark fields are compulsory. If you are not filling that field, then the form is not going to proceed further. So you are going to get an error that please fill this field. That all fields, they are the required fields. Okay, then next one is autocomplete. Now what is autocomplete? Autocomplete specifies whether a form or input field should have autocomplete on or off. By default, autocomplete is always on. Remember that by default, autocomplete is always on. So it depends upon you that whether you should make it off or not. Okay, so what is autocomplete now? Autocomplete means that it allows the browser, it is allowing the browser to predict the values. Means it is predicting, means it is allowing the user to predict, means show the value. Okay, means yes, this value can come and this can come like this. That is called as a prediction. So that is when user starts to type a field. Whenever the user wants to type, when he starts to type any field, then the browser displays the option how to fill this field. Okay, but that will be based on the earlier typed values. When you're filling the form for the first time, that time you won't get the idea, means they won't display any values. That time you will not get the idea. But first time you have filled the form and next time again you're coming and you're trying to fill that form, that time he will give you the idea that how to fill this field. Means it will be showing you your own values. Previously filled values it will show you, and if you want to enter that same values, then you can click on that value and that value gets entered automatically. So that is because of autocomplete on. That's why that field comes. Otherwise, if it is off, then you won't be able to see that automatically filled values. Okay. Then next is autofocus. Autofocus specifies that the input field should automatically get focused when the page load. This means that it shows that where the cursor should be. So autofocus, if the autofocus is on the first field, then what will happen when the page loads? That time you can see that cursor will be blinking on the first field. If you set the autofocus on the second field, then when the page loads, you will see that cursor will be on the second field and it will be start blinking on the second field. So that is because of autofocus. Next one, height and width. It specifies the height and width of an image. So suppose you want to increase and decrease the height and width of the image, then that you can do with the help of which attribute, height and width. Next one, lastly we can say multiple. Multiple specifies that user is allowed to enter more than one value in the input element. This works with input types like file and email. So what is this? Suppose user want to enter more than one file. Okay, suppose you want to upload more than one file, that time he has to use which option, which attribute? Multiple attribute. Suppose if you want to enter more than one email IDs, then that time also you can use which attribute? Multiple attribute. So all these are the attributes and descriptions of input restriction. So this all attributes, it will become clear to you when we see the coding of this and the output of this. Till now, we have studied all the input types of forms and the input restrictions of that type. Now, we are going to study a new tag in HTML, and that tag name is meta tag. Now, what is this meta tag? Meta tag defines metadata, that is information about an HTML document. So what this actually says? This means that meta tag defines metadata. So what is this metadata? This metadata is nothing but information or data about your HTML document. So whatever web page you are creating or HTML document you are creating, so that web page's information, okay, or important information, that information is called as metadata. The meta tag is placed within the head tag. So where we are going to place this meta tag? In the head tag and not in the body tag. This is an empty tag, that is singular tag. Means what? It is not having the closing tag. That's why it is called as a singular tag or empty tag. Metadata will not be displayed on the web page. This says that whatever you write in the meta tag, that never gets displayed on the web page. Means it is not going to change the appearance of your web page. It is used by search engines to search information that is provided with the web page. So whatever information you are writing in the meta tag, that information will be used by search engines like Google or our browsers to search your web page. So whatever information you are writing in this meta tag, that information will be used by by search engines like we can say Google or browsers, which will be searching your web pages you have created. Okay, so this is all about the meta tag. Now let us see attributes of meta tag. Let us see attributes of meta tag. So this is the list of all the attributes of meta tag. These are the values of meta tag and this is the description of meta tag. So let us start one by one. First one, name. Name has 4 values: author, description, words and copyright. So it says that it is a name for the metadata. So these are the names which you give to the metadata. Okay. So what is author? Author means the person who is creating the web page or HTML document. So the name of that person will come in place of author. Next, description. Description means short description of your web page or HTML document that you are creating. Okay. So whatever web page you are creating, so for that if you want to give short description about your web page, then you can write that thing in description. Next is keywords. Keywords means important words from your web page or HTML document. So whatever important words are there from your web page, that you can write in this keywords. One thing I would like to tell you that whatever you write in description and keywords, that both contents will be used by the search engines to search your web page. Okay, means Google can use this description and keywords from the meta tag and it will be used for searching purposes. Okay, whenever anyone types that description or keywords in that Google search, then they can see your web page. Lastly, copyright. Copyright means the rights to whom you can give rights, means who can copy this your web page and who cannot. So all that rights to whomever you want to give, that you have to write in copyright. Okay, that's all about the values of meta tag. Now let us see the next attribute, that is content. This content, it can be any text related to the name attribute. Example, it can be any text related to the name attribute. Example, meta name. Here I am using author value, so the content is Shweta. Why Shweta? Because this video is created by me, so here I am writing my name. If you are creating your web page or HTML document, you will write your name. Meta name description. Content is advanced web designing. So this video, it is based on which chapter? Advanced web designing. That's why I'm writing in description advanced web designing. You can write your own. Meta name keywords. Content is input restrictions and meta tag. Now in this video, I have discussed two main things. One is input restrictions and the another one is meta tag. That's why my keywords for this video is input restriction and meta tag. You can write your keywords. Okay. Then at last, meta name is copyright. Content is all rights are reserved. So I can say that all rights are reserved means no one can do anything instead of only me, means only I can do, but no others are having the right. So this depends on you what you want to write. Okay, so this is all about the content. Now next one is char set. Now what this char set says, it is a character set. It specifies a character encoding for the HTML document. So what type of character encoding we are using, that is specified using this char set. Okay, so here the char set is UTF-8. By default, we always use UTF-8 only. This is for Indian characters for encoding your HTML document. So, and this big 5, this is for Chinese character. So, which is our by default char set? It is UTF-8. Then, last attribute is HTTP equi. So, this stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol Equivalent. So, this, here the values are refresh, set cookie, content type, expires. So these are used for HTTP response message headers. So what happens, this message header, that will be giving the response depending upon your values. Suppose you are writing HTTP equivalent is equal to refresh. So it is refreshing your web page depending upon the content. Means if your content is 5 seconds. Now here I have written 5. So 5, what 5 seconds? If you are writing 10, it will be 10 seconds, 60 seconds. Okay, so this will be automatically refreshing your web page after every 5 seconds. Okay, so it when you're working on your web page, so you can see that after every 5 seconds your web page gets refreshed, because we have written this thing, content is equal to 5 and HTTP equivalent is equal to refresh. That's why. Next is HTTP equivalent is equal to set cookies. Now what is this cookies? First you should know cookies. Cookies means not those biscuits which you're eating, not that cookies. Okay, these cookies, they are the small files which are created in your computer when you browse anything. Okay, whenever you're using internet, that time whenever you search anything, so that time this cookies will be created in your computer, and this cookies, they will be keeping track of your information, and this file, it will be this will be exchanged between web browser and web servers. Okay, now actually these cookies, they are no longer used by Google Chrome, so this has been stopped, this we have stopped using. So now this is of no use here, only just for knowledge purpose I'm telling you what is cookies, that's it. Okay, now next one is HTTP equivalent is equal to content type. Now what is this content type actually? This allows us to specify the type of data and the character set. So what is the type of your data? It is text and as well as HTML. And what is the character set? UTF-8. So this character set, actually you cannot write it alone. You have to use it with HTTP equivalent only. Okay, so content type means what? It is telling you what type of a web document is yours, that is means it contains what text as well as HTML and what type of a character set you are using. Okay, lastly we can say that HTTP equivalent is equal to expires, content is equal to expires is equal to Monday 6 July 2020. Now what this actually says, this says that whenever you want to expire your web page, if you want that your web page should be there for this many days, then after that day it should get expired or deleted. So for that purpose you can use this option. Okay, so when you write here the date and the timing, that time at that time and at that date your web page will be getting deleted or it gets expired. So all these are the attributes of meta tag. Next we will see the coding of input restriction and meta tag. Now this is the coding for the input restriction. Here we are using different types of fields,
These are all the fields and some restrictions also we are using. So in first case, I am using the restriction as placeholder. Placeholder tells the users that write your name in this format, that is last name, then first name and then middle name. Then size is equal to 30. What is the size? If you are seen in 11th standard, the size is the size of the text box. It is not the size of your name, it is the size of your text box. Next one, email. In this, I am using the restriction as autofocus. What is this autofocus? Autofocus means whenever you load your page, that time your cursor will be placed. Now, whenever you load your page, where will be your cursor? It will be on the second field because I am using autofocus for the second field. Next, date of birth. Here the restriction is required, means this field is important. You have to fill this field, otherwise form won't get submitted. Means it is going to fetch you the error that please fill this field. Then next one is for time, I am not using any type of restriction. Then for the age, I am using the restriction as min and max, that minimum age should be 10 and maximum age should be 40. Then mobile number, it is having the restriction as pattern. This says that you write your mobile number in this pattern only. That is, you should write first 3-digit number, then dash, then 2-digit number, then dash, then 3-digit number, then dash, then 2-digit number. If you are not writing your mobile number in this fashion, then again it is going to give you error. Okay, afterward then also it is not going to move forward. Okay, means you are not able to submit the form. It is going to give you the error that please fill the form in this format only. Next one is input type color. Here you can select any color from the color pico. Then in the next favorite website, I am using the restriction as autocomplete. Here the autocomplete is off, means you will not be able to see your what automatically filled values. Next is college name. Here the value is equal to model college and restriction is read only. Means what will happen? Users can just see the value model college, but they are not able to write anything, or they are not able to delete that field. Next is registration number. For registration number also, I am using value 82456 and it is disabled. So disabled restriction is used. So what will happen? Again the same thing. Users can see the value but they cannot edit or delete this value. Next is I am using the restriction multiple. Multiple means you can upload multiple files. So when I am uploading the multiple files means you can upload resume as well as application, and again many more files you can upload at a time. Next, lastly, we can say that instead of using submit button, what I am using image as a submit button, and here the restriction is width. So image height is 50 and width is 50. One more thing I would like to tell you here, I'm using website input type URL. Always remember when you're using URL, that time you have to always write your URL address, that is HTTP. That means the URL address of the website should come. Okay, so now let us see the output of this coding. So this is the output of that coding. See here, this is a placeholder. Now first thing I would like to tell you this. Where is the cursor blinking? On the second field. Why? Because autofocus is on the second field. That's why cursor is blinking on the second field. This is placeholder which is telling you write your name in this format. So let us write the name in this format. Okay. Now next field is email ID. Now here I will just write Shweta and let us see what happens after submitting the form. Here I am not writing date of birth. We will see this field afterwards. Your timing, there is no restriction. Even if you are not writing or if you are writing, it is not going to fetch you any error because this field is not compulsory. That's why. If you want, you can give, this is a time picker. From here, you can select the time of birth. Okay. Next is age restriction. In this age restriction, minimum age is 10, and when you click on this upper arrow, you can see that maximum age will be 40, not more than 40. So you can select any age whatever you want. What is your age? You can select that age. This is just I'm doing for the example purpose. It is not my age. Then next is mobile number. Now see what happens when I write mobile number. I'm not writing the mobile number in the given format. Can you see? No. This is only 10-digit number I'm writing, but it is not in the given format. What happens that we will see afterwards. Now, select your favorite color from this color picker. So whatever is your favorite color, just select that color and click it. That's it. Then next is favorite website. Here also I will write just www. See, autocomplete is off. That's why it is not giving me the options. But you are filling for the first time. When you fill for the second time, that time only you will come. You will get the options. If you are not writing autocomplete, off. See, this is the site name. Now, this is Model College, which is read only. This is 82456 registration, which is disabled. Here you can upload more than 2 files. I will just show you the example of uploading the file. I am uploading any file. Again, one more file I would like to upload. So, just upload any file. Okay, I have uploaded 2 files. You can upload again more files because we are giving the restriction as multiple, so you can upload multiple files. At last I am using image as a submit button, so on clicking this button all this data gets submitted to the server. But let us see whether it gets submitted or not. No, it is not getting submitted. It is giving me the first error here in email ID that you have to write the @site and you have to write the domain name. So domain name is Rediffmail, Gmail, Hotmail, whatever you are having, that email IDs you have to write. Okay, now let us again submit the form. Now it is giving me error on this field, that is date of birth. Please fill out this field because it is a compulsory field, that's why. So any birth date, you can select your own birth date. I'm selecting randomly any date. Okay, then this we have written, this also we have written. Now let us submit the form. Now here it gives me the error. For mobile number, please match the requested format. So what was our pattern? After 3 digit there should be dash, then after 2 digit there should be dash, again after 3 digit there should be dash. Now let us submit the form. Yes, now the mobile number error has been rectified, but it gives me error where? In the website. So this is a URL address, so you should always write the URL address with http:// okay, now I will submit the form. See, the form gets submitted. So like this, when you practice, then only you will come to know how this input restrictions and input type works. Now let us see the another example, that is meta tag. So this is the coding for meta tag. Now in this meta tag I am writing where? In the head tag. Okay, this meta tag, it is enclosed where? In the head tag. In the body tag I am just writing a simple sentence, that is welcome to this is a heading, welcome to meta tags. So when you see the output, you are able to see only welcome to meta tags, nothing else. This all things, it is of no use. These are not going to get displayed on the web page. But who is going to use all these things? This all things will be used by their search engines. So search engines always use this types of things, that is author, then keywords, descriptions, all these things. This will be used by the search engines to search your web pages. Whenever any user wants to search web pages regarding the pages you have created, then that time your also web pages get displayed in the search engines. Okay, so now here what author is Shweta, you can write your name when you are creating your web pages. Meta tags, input restriction, these are my keywords. Learning about meta tags, this is a description. Then your web page get refreshed after every 10 seconds. You're able to see only this thing in your web page. When you see the output, that time you will be able to see only this coding, this output. Okay, but rest of this are not of any use to see. You will be not able to see all these things. Okay, so now let us see the output of your coding. So this is the output where only where we can see just the heading which is displayed in the which we have written in the body tag, welcome to meta tags. Rest all things we cannot see. They are used by the Google engines only, search engines only. Now only one thing we can notice is refresh. So see, you have to just concentrate on this refresh button. Your page gets refreshed after every 10 seconds. Just see, it got refreshed. You have to just concentrate on this. After every 10 seconds your page gets refreshed. Okay, that's it, how it works. You came to know how it works, so just practice it and then you will come to know how it works. Then this this much for today's lecture. In the next lecture, we are going to study new topic, that is CSS.
Thank you for watching this video. Stay home, stay safe, and happy learning. See you in the next lecture.